As we consider what it takes to lead in the new reality here in September 2020, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the passing of the Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was a trailblazer in her space. And not only did she leave an incredible legacy behind, but she also inspired generations of leaders to pursue their passion and stand up for what they believe in. One of the things I respected most about her was her willingness to have courageous conversations. And in the world that we live in today, with all the uncertainty that exists, it is more critical now than ever for us as leaders to be willing to have those difficult conversations. One of the things that's clear with this world that we're living in is that we need leaders right now, and not just managers. And one of the keys to leadership is displaying humanity. It's connecting with people in spite of the pandemic. And so although people may be working from home, we can't let that remove the humanity from the workplace. I read a story recently that illustrates that with the CEO of McKinsey and his employees scheduled a video meeting with their pets on. And he joined this meeting with his 2 cats, only to be one-upped by someone else who joined with their horse. And what a great way in this remote workplace environment that many of us live in today to be able to still connect, still keep the humanity in the workplace. Another important aspect of leading during these times is to display vulnerability with optimism. Now, how do you combine vulnerability with optimism? Well, first, it means acknowledging the challenges that people are going through. For example, a lot of parents right now are figuring out how to juggle their careers with their children doing virtual learning. So acknowledging those challenges that exist, but still being forward-thinking and forward-looking towards what life will be like next year and how our business will persevere through these difficult times and come out better on the other side of the pandemic than where we are right now. This is especially important today because for the younger generation, for millennials like myself and Gen Z, people are watching how your company is treating its employees and its customers during the pandemic. They're watching to see how you respond to the crisis that we're faced with. And in many cases, they'll be making future employment decisions based on those responses. So the social responsibility that you take as a leader and that your organization takes will have a direct impact on your ability to not only attract new talent, but retain the talent that you have. So here's a question I have for you. What is the biggest challenge you have faced in 2020? For some of us, it's professional. And for others, like myself, it's been personal. My wife and I were fortunate to welcome our first child into the world just a couple of months ago. But having a baby during a pandemic has been quite challenging to deal with. Having to tell our parents that they can't visit or hold their grandchild. In the San Francisco Bay Area where I live, dealing with the consequences of the wildfires, poor air quality, and the opening and closing of businesses locally, it's just been a very difficult time. But what I have to think about, and what we all need to think about, whether it's personal or professional, is what are the next practices for the new world? Yes, we need to discover the best practices for today, but what are those next practices that we're going to want to implement when a pandemic is no longer affecting the way that we do business or the way that we live our lives? So it's being present in the here and now while also preparing for the future that we will hopefully very soon be living in.